This is the Cipherise revolution from Forticode. Today we're very excited to talk with Chad from Pronto Software. Pronto is a world-leading software developer who has been around for over 40 years. Welcome, Chad.
Thank you, nice to be here.
Thank you, great to have you. Briefly, can you tell us a bit about yourself and your role at Pronto?
Sure, I'm the Managing Director of Pronto Software, so I've been with the company for 12 years and have done many varied roles within the organisation. So I started as a product manager, actually back in 2005, and came out of 20 years in the retail industry prior to joining the company, and ran R&D for a number of years and then moved back into the commercial business in 2014.
And can you tell us, Chad, in your own words, what is Cipherise?
Yeah, well, I see Cipherise as really a simple solution to a really tricky problem, and that is, authenticating people, telling people who they are. They solve a major issue for us and for our customers, and I see that is really the major benefit that we're looking at, is that it's an easy way for software to tell who is using it. Yeah, because security is generally not user-friendly, so having something that is a real revelation.
Have you seen other solutions out there, Chad, and how would you compare them to Cipherise?
Yeah, I certainly have. In fact, we've integrated with other solutions in the past, and they tend to be only part of the story. They solve part of the problem, but they don't solve all of the problem, or they add complexity, or they put something in front of the user they don't like. So I think that we have a real opportunity here to really have our cake and eat it too, in terms of both security and user-friendliness.
Excellent. Now, Pronto is such an impressive. Why the partnership with Forticode?
Well, I suppose we're both Australian companies, which is a start, and we're a little unusual in the software industry in that we are Australian and independently owned. So we are owned by the staff. We're not owned by venture capitalists or banks. From that perspective, we saw a bit of ourselves in Forticode as well, and we love the product, and we want to support an Australian innovation company, and we like to see ourselves as innovators, and we're taking our software to the world, and we just see it as a symbiotic partnership. So from that perspective, I think culturally we're both aligned, and we're both really out there competing in a global space as Australian tech companies, which is fantastic.
So at this early stage, Chad, what are the challenges, or do you foresee any?
Oh, certainly. I don't think it'll be bump free, but I think our biggest challenge will actually be educating the market.
Right.
And because one of the tricky parts about security is getting people to believe what you say, because everyone is very scared about security. They don't really understand it. And so if you come along with such a simple solution that solves such a difficult problem, they will struggle to believe it to start with. But really the proof will be in the pudding. Once customers actually using it, and we're using it ourselves, and people are actually seeing it working, and actually
the simplicity of it.
The belief skyrockets very quickly. And I think that's what will happen here. And because we have quite a lot of credibility with our customers, they tend to believe what we say, and they trust us to not do the wrong thing.
That comes with 40 years in business.
It does. And we have a high degree of trust with our customers. So I think from that perspective, there's a really good opportunity to educate the market in the right way, and actually do this properly.
Wonderful. So how will Pronto and its many clients benefit from this relationship?
Well, interestingly enough, Pronto operates on 4 strategic key pillars. So one of them is obviously growing the core business. The other is security, simplicity, and innovation. And this will benefit customers really along all 4 lines. So it really ticks the box of simplicity. So from an end user perspective, they will just be able to pick it up and use the software, which is fantastic. They will have absolute security when they're doing it, which is also great. So it's a really compelling thing for a customer to see that sort of benefit coming so easily. And I think in solving that major issue of authentication is a real win for our customers, because many of our customers are in very distributed industries. They've got people in far-flung locations. They're in high-risk businesses, critical security requirements. So I think from that perspective, having this solution will just really tick all those boxes for the customer, and they will really see the benefit very quickly.
Cool.
So
it's a good thing. Is the key.
Well, I think it's certainly a big part of it.
Great.
And the good thing is that it's technology that people will actually use. So end users won't spend their time trying to avoid it.
Yeah.
So, which is really important because most security is the enemy of convenience. Whereas what we have with Cipherise is actually a bit of both. Convenience actually goes up for the user. So from that perspective, it's a fantastic outcome.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Chad.
No worries at all. Thank you.
Great chatting with you, and I'm learning more and more every time I get to speak to someone.
Yeah, pleasure.